Welcome to episode 7 of Fissy's Wacky World of Wrestling. I'm 14 Fitzpatrick, and for today's episode, we are going to do a review of Monday Night Raw from April 7th, 2014, from the New Orleans Arena in New Orleans, Louisiana. Now, this is the Fallout show for the WrestleMania 30 pay-per-view extravaganza that just went down on Sunday. And there has been a lot of stuff that has gone on over the past 96 hours or so. We've had champions crowned, streaks broken, and legends passing away. And that will all be talked about on today's episode of the podcast. And wow, what a week! So, we start things off with a Daniel Bryan tribute video to showcase how he got to the top of the WWE. He went from wrestling in small arenas to becoming the Ring of Honor World Champion, to coming to the WWE, beating The Miz for the United States Championship, becoming World Heavyweight Champion, then losing in 18 seconds to Sheamus, then becoming a tag team wrestler with Kane with the Team Hell No, and then, of course, trying to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship from John Cena and succeeding, only to have the Viper Randy Orton completely ruin those plans, because his buddy Triple H decided to pedigree him into the ring, and then through the ring, and then bury him with the largest shovel that he could possibly find so that Randy Orton could become the proper, controllable champion for the Triple H authority regime. Well, spoiler alert for those of you who have been living under a rock for the last couple weeks, Daniel Bryan is the champion! And unfortunately for Triple H, he is not happy about this. So, what happens is Daniel Bryan comes down to the ring. There is a massive yes chant that starts in the arena. Everybody is chanting yes. The crowd is going wild. Daniel Bryan is eating this all up. And quite frankly, it is an absolutely amazing sight to see. The post-WrestleMania Raw crowds over the last few years have been absolutely amazing, and they deliver here tonight, because that isn't the only segment that they do really well in. So, what Bryan says is it's hard to keep up with the chants because of the titles. He then does a yes chant, and then he says he has to give his shoulders a break. And then he talks about how these titles mean so much to him. And the crowd chants, "You deserve it, da 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 da, you deserve it," to Bryan. What Bryan says to them that they deserve it. And it's a really heartfelt, really great promo by Bryan. Unfortunately for Bryan, he is interrupted by the Shovel and his angry demoness wife, Stephanie McMahon. And then the crowd chants to Triple H, "You got beat! Da, 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 you got beat!" And then Triple H stays on the apron because he doesn't want to do something to Daniel Bryan that he wants to regret. Unfortunately, Daniel Bryan decides to troll the King of the Trolls. Well, Chris Jericho isn't here, so temporarily Triple H has the title. And he steps right in front of him and starts chanting with the two shiny things in his face as Triple H's face grows redder than a stoplight. And it almost looks like a volcano is about to erupt on the top of his head. And then Triple H says it's only for a moment, and it won't last. It won't last through the night because Bryan is going to defend the shiny things against Triple H tonight. And then Triple H decides to go into a psychotic rage and rants on that he is going to end it all because it is his show, and there is not a thing that laudanum can do about it. As he and Stephanie storm off, Bryan chants and waves the shiny things around with the crowd, and it is an absolutely amazing opening segment that gets the crowd pumped up for whatever evil shenanigans the Authority are going to be planning this week. I assume it's going to probably involve something like crashing a beer truck in the ring or something. Anyway, Triple H and Stephanie go to the back to evilly plot their schemes when the dehydrated potato Batista shows up and says, "Hey guys, I kinda would like my singles match now against the deranged lawn gnome. No offense, Hunter, but I kind of got here first. And then Randy Orton interrupts. He says, "No, I got here first. I have a rematch clause that I would like to use against the deranged lawn gnome to regain my shiny things and be the proper champion that the authority wants me to be." Triple H interrupts them both and says that they will get their rematches, but not tonight. Stephanie has an even more devious plan in store for their two minions. She wants them to destroy the tag team champions, the Usos, who have been interfering in their plans and aiding the deranged lawn gnome on several occasions while they've tried to destroy him. So, Batista and Orton, because they have tag teamed together, will get a tag team title shot against the Usos, because Orton being a prior champion and Batista being a prior Royal Rumble winner means that they get sort of a championship qualifier, that they get an automatic bid to challenge for any of the lower tier belts, which actually makes a lot of sense. Anyway, Triple H makes a reference to their history of the past stable that these gentlemen were in, Evolution. Historically, when we're all on the same page and doing evil to the same person, nobody can stop us. And he's absolutely right. They need to combine their forces to combat the big good right now of the WWE, Daniel Bryan. Because the other big good of the WWE is currently disposed of right now, dealing with a bunch of psychotic hillbillies. Which leads us to our next and first match of the evening. The Wyatt family versus John Cena, Big E, and Sheamus. And the faces? Well, they aren't so much face here. In fact, they're booed constantly. John Cena and Sheamus are booed throughout the match, and Big E is the only one to get any form of face reaction whatsoever, until he gets in the ring with Bray Wyatt, and then they start booing him as well. The Wyatt family is cheered throughout this match. The heroes of WrestleMania. Although Bray Wyatt didn't win his match against John Cena, I don't really think it hurt him at all. In fact, if anything, if this leads to a John Cena heel turn, I'm all for it. Because Wyatt is the first person to successfully start cracking into the mind of the champion. He's tearing down all of the walls, and he cuts all these masterful, amazing promos that he writes himself, by the way. He has a real talent as a writer. And his two psychotic hillbilly cohorts play their roles to absolute perfection. Luke Harper is like this redneck luchador who launches around the ring, and he's 6 foot freaking free and weighs about, 275 or so. He's doing moves that a 180-pound luchador does. And Eric Rowan is a lot better than you would think he is. He is absolutely amazing at playing this psychotic big guy with a sheep's mask, who obviously looks like he wants to eat the faces of anybody who faces against him opposite the ring. Smash them and make them into a nice little stew, so that he and his sheep can have lunch. Anyway, this match was absolutely fantastic. All 6 individuals in this match played their parts to perfection. And the Wyatt family embraced the cheers. They embraced. The crowd was doing the wave and chanting, "He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands." And it was just so surreal and amazing. I was like, wow, this is an absolutely amazing show. I mean, already the first 2 segments of the show have just blown away my expectations of this. Anyway, Wyatt lays out Big E and whips Big E into Harper's super kick. Harper then with a suicide dive to Sheamus on the outside. Wyatt then hits the Sister Abigail for the 1-2-3 on Big E for the win. And while a lot of people might complain about Big E losing here because he's the Intercontinental Champion, remember, he's fighting against 3 psychotic hillbillies. His partners are currently disposed of, and it's basically a 3-on-1 assault. So I completely understand Wyatt completely destroying Big E. Anyway, we then receive a video package for one of the 2 debuts that's going to be coming soon to Raw, Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas is an interesting character. He's actually the younger brother of the psychotic hillbilly Bray Wyatt. And he has this cheesy face-ish gimmick where he basically is a heel that plays a face character, akin to John Cena's character, where he doesn't think that they're booing him, they're believing him, or something like that. It's a really interesting gimmick, and I'm really interested to see how it works out on Raw. Anyway, we then reach our second match of the night. Fandango and Summer Rae versus Santino Marella and Emma. Emma is a new debut recently who comes up from NXT to face against the other diva wrestlers in the WWE. Summer Rae is playing this absolutely fantastic heel gimmick. Fandango, although he slid a little bit, but he's been keeping his momentum up, and he's been doing really good in the mid-card. Santino Marella is a great comedy character. This was a very short but incredibly funny match, as Emma goes to work with the Evolution into the ropes, the Emma Sandwich, and then the Emma Lock very quickly on Summer Rae for the 1-2-3. While Summer Rae wonders what exactly just happened, Santino and Emma try to celebrate, and Santino almost hits Emma with the Cobra, his sock puppet. Anyway, this is a goofy, short, but sweet match that was absolutely amazing, and I enjoyed every single minute of it. And this ends part 1 of this video. Tune in for part 2 to see one of the top 5 best promos that I've ever heard in my life, a tag team match, and a return of a legendary superstar. And we'll be right back.